Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this gorgeous midi skirt. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the materials you're going to need. So you're going to need 3 hooks. You're going to need a 5, 4.5, and a 4mm hook. I used 4 skeins of yarn, 1 per color, and I used the I Love This Yarn acrylic yarn. You're also going to need darning needles, scissors, a tape measure, and stitch markers are completely optional. And here are the measurements you're going to need. You're going to need your low waist measurement as well as the length of what you want your skirt to be. And to calculate how many stitches you'll need for your foundation chain, you're just going to take your first measurement and multiply it by 2.5. I did that and I had got 70 stitches for my foundation chain. We're going to be starting this off with the foundationless double crochet chain, and to start that we're going to be making a slip knot and then chain up 2. And for the very first stitch I actually made a mistake, and I'm going to show you what I did just so you can avoid that. But you'll still chain up 2, yarn over, insert through the first chain, pull through to where you have 3 loops on your hook. And here is the mistake I made. I pulled through 2, and I was supposed to stop at that 1 and then pull through 2, but I pulled through 2 and then I pulled through 2 again, and that's actually the incorrect way to do it. So here's the right way to do that. You're gonna yarn over, insert through the bottom 2 loops, and then you'll pull through to where you have 3 loops on your hook. Then you'll yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, then yarn over and pull through 2 again. And that's the correct way to do the foundationless double crochet. And here I am doing it again. So you're going to yarn over, insert through the bottom 2 loops, pull through, then you'll pull through 1, pull through 2, and then pull through 2 again. I'm going to do it one more time, so I'm yarning over, insert through the bottom 2, pull through, then yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2 again. I'm also going to link a tutorial showing you how to do the foundationless double crochet, just in case if you want a more slowed down, in-depth tutorial on how to do that. But I'm going to continue this until I reach the amount of stitches that I need. So I had 70 stitches, but I'm going to stop at 69 right before that 70th stitch so I can show you how to connect that. So here I am. I'm at my 69th stitch. And we're going to be working into this corner here to connect the chain. You just want to make sure that your work isn't twisted. So for the 70th stitch, I'm going to yarn over and insert into the bottom 2 loops, just like before. Then yarn over, pull through to where I have 3 loops on my hook. And here I'm grabbing the other end with the space that we're going to be working into. Now I'm going to insert my hook into the space, yarn over, pull through, and then we're going to pull through that very first loop on the other side. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2, then yarn over and pull through 2. And that finishes the 70th stitch as well as closes the round for the very first row. And here I'm just pulling the string to make it tighter. To close the round, I'm going to insert my hook into the very first double crochet at the beginning, and I'm going to slip stitch that together, and that completes the very first row. Now I'm chaining up 2, turning my work, and now I'm going to begin my second row. So for the second row, I'm going to be inserting an increase into every 8th stitch, and the chain 2 counts as a double crochet. So after that double crochet, I'm inserting my second one. That makes 2. Here I'm doing my third double crochet, and I'm gonna speed it up just to get to the 7th double crochet, and I'll show you how to do the increase into the 8th stitch. So here I'm doing my 7th double crochet, and for the 8th I'm inserting 2 double crochets within the same stitch, and that's how you do your increases. And I'm going to repeat this all the way around by inserting an increase into every 8th stitch. If you want to use stitch markers to mark off your increases, feel free to do so. For me, I just counted as I went along to make it easier for myself. But I'm going to complete this, and I'll meet you at the end and show you what to do next. So here I am at the end of my row, adding my final 2 double crochets. And to close off this row, I'm going to be slip stitching into the chain 2. And then I'm going to chain up 2, turn my work, and we're going to start the 3rd row. So for rows 3 and 4, we're going to be repeating the exact same pattern. So increasing into every 8th stitch, making sure that you count that chain 2 as a double crochet. I'm going to finish this up, and I'll meet you at the end of my 4th row. So this is what it looks like with 4 rows. It's gonna start to curve upwards, and I recommend trying it on at this point to see if it's too tight or too loose. If it's too loose, I recommend taking away a row, but if it's too tight, I recommend adding maybe a row or 2, following the same pattern of increasing in every 8th stitch. So here I am at the end of my 4th row, and all I'm gonna do to close it off is slip stitch into the top of that chain 2 again. For my 5th row, I'm gonna be starting my new color, and how I add my color is by taking the 2nd color, and I'm just gonna chain up 1. That makes it 2 chains total, including that original color. And I'm just gonna take the tail in and move it over as I turn my work. And now I'm going to be working double crochets into each stitch all the way around. And for this row, you're gonna be working 2 increases, and I'm gonna be working 1 onto each side of the skirt. So all I'm doing is proceeding with inserting 1 double crochet into each stitch all the way around, and I'm gonna insert my increases off camera. So I'm gonna continue, and I'll meet you at the end and show you what to do next. So here I am at the end of my row, inserting my final 2 double crochets. And after my final double crochet, I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. Then I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work. And now for rows 6 to 11, I'm going to be doing regular double crochets in every stitch, no increases or decreases. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my rows off camera, and I'll meet you guys at the end of row 11 and show you what to do next. So this is what my skirt is looking like so far with 11 rows. And here I am just inserting my final 2 double crochets. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the chain 2. Then I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work. And now for row 12, I'm going to be inserting 1 decrease in every 20th stitch. Now I'm coming up on my decrease, and to do that, I'm going to yarn over, insert, pull through 2, yarn over again, insert, pull through 2, yarn over, then pull through 3, and that's how you're going to do your decreases. I'm going to continue this pattern all the way around until I get to the end, and I'll show you what to do next. So here I am at the end of my row, and I'm going to be inserting my final double crochet. Then I'm going to slip stitch into the chain 2. Chain up 2, turn my work, and for rows 13 to 21, I'm going to be inserting regular double crochets into every stitch all the way around, no increases and no decreases. And something that I did here was insert a stitch marker into this row just so that I can keep count of how many rows that I'm doing as I go along. So if you want to do that as well, feel free to do so. But I'm going to continue the rest of my rows off camera, and I'll meet you at the end and show you what to do next. So this is what my skirt is looking like so far with 21 rows. And I'm going to be finishing up the final double crochets. After my last double crochet, I'm slip stitching into the chain 2, chain up 2, turn my work, and for row 22, I'm going to be inserting 1 decrease into every 15 stitches. And you're going to be doing your decreases the exact same way that I showed on camera before, but just in case you need a refresher, I'm going to show you how to do it again. Here is me at a 15th stitch, and to do the decrease, I yarn over, insert, pull through 2, yarn over, insert in the next stitch, pull through 2, then yarn over and pull through 3. And that's how you're going to do your decreases in every 15th stitch all the way around until you get to the end. I'm going to do mine off camera, and when I'm done, I'll meet you and show you what to do next. So here I am at the end of my row, slip stitching into the chain 2. And now I'm about to attach my second color, and something that I did differently versus the very first color change that I showed you was chain 3 instead of 2. And I'm counting that white loop on my hook as the chain 1, so that's why I said chain 3. So here's me chaining 3, and I'm pulling the tail of the white yarn in tightly, so now it kind of looks more like a chain 2, and that just tucks in the white color better for the color change row. But after that, I turn my work, and now for row 23, I'm going to be inserting 1 decrease in every 10 stitches. And you're going to do this all the way around until you get to the end, and then I'll show you what to do next. So here I'm at the end, inserting my final double crochet. Then I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. Now I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and for rows 24 to 49, that's how many rows I did. You can do your desired length if you prefer. I'm going to be inserting 1 double crochet in every stitch all the way around. No increases, no decreases. I'm going to complete my rows off camera and I'll meet you at the end to show you what to do next. So after 49 rows, this is how my skirt is looking so far. If you need to do more or less, feel free to do so. But after 49 rows, I will be doing a 50th row, doing 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around until I get to the end. And here you can see me attaching my 3rd color and then chaining 1. And then I'm going to pull the tail in for that red yarn just so the black yarn is a little bit more prominent. And then I'm going to insert 1 single crochet into the first stitch, then a 2nd single crochet into the next stitch, and then I'm going to do this all the way around until I get to the end. I'm going to complete mine off camera and then I'll show you what to do next. So here I am at the end of my row. All I'm doing is slip stitching into the chain 1, and then I'm going to cut off my yarn and then attach my other color to begin the row of scallop stitches. And here you can see me attaching my yarn, chaining 1, and then I'm going to pull the tail of the black yarn in. And in that first stitch, I'm inserting 1 single crochet, chain 1, skip the next 2 stitches, and in the 3rd stitch, I'm going to insert 5 double crochets. So that's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 4 double crochets, and then 5 double crochets. After inserting 5 double crochets, I'm going to chain 1 again, skip the next 2 stitches, and in the 3rd, I'm going to insert 1 single crochet. After doing that single crochet, I'm going to chain 1, skip the next 2 stitches, and in the 3rd, I'm going to insert another 5 double crochets. And this is the pattern for the scallop stitch row going all the way around. You'll insert the single crochet, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, and in the 3rd, insert 5 double crochets, chain 1, skip the next 2 stitches, and then insert a single crochet into the 3rd stitch. You're going to repeat this all the way around until you get to the end. So here I am at the end. I'm about to do my final cluster of scallop stitches. After doing my 5th double crochet, I'm going to chain 1 and then slip stitch into the very first single crochet, chain 1, then cut and tie off my yarn, and that'll complete the final row for the skirt. All that's left to do now is add the border and drawstring to the waistband. So for the border of the skirt, I'm going to be using a 4.5 mm hook, and I'm also going to use the color black for my border. And to do this, I'm going to flip my skirt around to where the waistband is facing me, and then I'm going to insert my hook into one of the spaces at the top of the skirt. Here, I'm moving a couple spaces before the middle stitch where you see the tail. And I'm taking my black yarn, chaining one. I'm going to insert one single crochet into that same space, and then one single crochet into the next space. And then I'm going to continue inserting one single crochet into each space all the way around until I get back to the end. Once you make it to the end, you're just going to insert your final single crochets into the very last stitches. Then you're going to slip stitch into the very first single crochet, chain one, cut, and tie off your yarn. For the drawstring, I'm switching to my 4 mm hook. And for the drawstring, I start off with a slip knot and then chain a very long chain that can wrap around my hips. And I don't typically count how many chains that I make for my drawstring, so I'll just make a long chain, wrap it around the skirt, and if I like the length, then I'll stop where I'm at and then go back down the chain, inserting a slip stitch into every chain. Here you can see me wrapping the drawstring around the skirt, and again, if I like it, I'll stop where I'm at and then do slip stitches going back down the chain. But if it's too long, remove some chains. If it's too short, add some chains and follow the same steps with adding a slip stitch all the way back down. After I've slip stitched back down the chain of my drawstring, I'm going to mark off the middle of my skirt like you see here, and I'm going to count over 1 to 2 holes from this stitch marker before I insert my drawstring. And here I'm just inserting it into the hole in between the rows, and this is where I'm going to be weaving my drawstring in and out as I go along. But from there, I'm going to count over at least 3 holes and then insert back into the 4th hole and pull my drawstring through. And I'm going to repeat this process all the way around, counting over 3 holes and then inserting into the 4th hole for the drawstring. And here's a more close-up visual of me inserting it through the holes, just in case if you didn't catch it the first time. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then I'm inserting through the back of the 4th hole and pulling through. Then I'm going to count over 1, 2, 3, then insert into the 4th and pulling it back through. Alright, so here I am at the end, and at the end I ended up going in through the 2nd hole instead of the 4th, just because I didn't have enough room for a 4th hole. And if that happens to you, that's fine. Just try and go through either the 2nd or the 3rd hole if possible. So all I'm doing now is straightening out the skirt, and I'm done. All I'm going to do next is weave in my ends, but I'll be doing that off camera. But yeah, that completes the skirt, and this is the finished product. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know what else you guys want to see from me. And please like, comment, and subscribe for more.